Engle here for TGI Sports Talk Sunday stream at Consciousness. It's great to have you with us this morning. Watching live the U.S. Canada gold medal final in hockey. We'll follow that along as we go today. But we want to welcome everybody watching this morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you might catch us. If you catch us later on one of the groups, we're live also on the McGrath Podcast Network on YouTube. So make sure you go there, like and subscribe, and certainly check out all the other great shows, including the Roundtable show we do on Sunday mornings, Wednesday night, the shows that BA does, the shows that Sonia does, the shows that everybody does on these shows, Bo Crouch. So great stuff. Make sure you check all that out. And, of course, the groups that allow us to share. You see some of our favorites always strolling at the bottom. John Gonzalez at the Sports Authorities. Greg Rawlings at the America's Pastime and Love for Baseball. Can and Flow and Can over there at Bottom Line Sports podcast. They do some great stuff on the what is it? Oh my God, I'm having a brain fart now on one of my favorite. Come on, Keith, get your head out of your butt, would you? Bottom Line Sports does their main podcast on Let's Talk Sports. Tanner D doing a great job over there after picking up for the late great Dan Harris. What happened there? Ken Krause at Golf Bud Sports of All Sorts, and quick shout out to Ralph Williams at RW Media. Ralph does some great stuff there out of Ocean City, Maryland, including the Sports Corner every Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern with Smokin' Jim Frazier. We got a lot to talk about today, guys. We got the Olympics. Again, you're going to take this conversation where you want to go. I give you my little rundown of things we can talk about, but you can talk about anything you want. The Olympics are winding down. The U.S. is going to finish second in the medal count. We got the USA-Canada men going on now. Women with a great victory the other day over the Canadians in overtime. A lot of fun. Score with 30-plus seconds left to tie the score. Alyssa Liu in figure skating. What a tremendous, joyful performance. And what a refreshing, that's just way to watch a performance. There was no pressure, no stress on her. We often see that in things like figure skating, and great job. The women with a great job. The bobsled and three interesting, the women win the bobsled. The women have really done well, the women performers. Some ice issues in the bobsled and the speed skating. Major League Baseball, Bill Mazeroski passes away, and our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. Great defensive player and Hall of Famer for the Pirates. Pablo Lopez out. Cole with a strong first workout, if you will, hit 97 on the radar gun. Still looking at a May launch date for Garrett Cole. Judge and Alonso have big first games. I'm not a big exhibition game guy, but great starts with a couple of home runs in their first game. The Honus Wagner card, the T206, one of them sold for $5.1 million. 16 times these cards are, I think it's 16th time since 2016 or 14th time. It's sold for $1 million plus. One of these cards is sold for $1 million plus. Bears moving to Indiana. Why are we not talking about this? Seattle for sale. Bears moving to Indiana. A lot of big stuff in the NFL. Tyreek Hill released this week. In the NBA, the Knicks come back and beat the Rockets after being destroyed by Detroit the other night. Knicks are going to need to beat Detroit in the playoffs, most likely if they want to get to a championship series. And they've lost by an average of 28 points. College basketball, Duke beats Michigan in a matchup of 1-3 in the AP poll. And if you look at the early top 16 seeds that the tournament committee put out yesterday, that's the 1-2 seeds. Duke will probably be the number one team in the country this week. UCLA comes back from 23 down to beat number 10 Illinois. Tough week for UCLA, and a good way to finish it up for Mick Cronin's team. St. Louis and VCU in a nasty brawl the other day. No suspensions. Everybody ejected. And St. John's wins their 13th in a row yesterday. Lots of other stuff we can talk about. Excuse me, as well. But we're going to leave it to you guys to see where we go. Oh, we got a bunch of comments here. Good morning, Rick. Good to have you with us up in Amsterdam. Donna, good morning. Donna, I didn't answer your question earlier, and you are right. The second period is ready to start. Danny Fuller's with us out in California watching the hockey early today. 8 a.m. start. A lot of people talking about this 8 a.m. start. And the reason it is, remember, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon over there in Milan, and the closing ceremonies are today. This is the very last event of this Olympics. So the timing is what it is. You're going to watch it on tape delay later, which is what we did in 1980, the last time the U.S. men won. It's hard to believe the NHL's players have played. I think this might be their fourth time they played in the Olympics, first time since 2012. They've never won an Olympic gold. Shocking. Or is it? Anyway, I was going to say, you asked me on the earlier show, Donna, if we're getting the blizzard here. The blizzard, we'll see what happens. The coastal areas are going to get hammered. I'm not sure. You're in Connecticut, maybe, Donna? My stepson is out in Colchester, and they're supposed to get like 20 inches and wind, and it's going to be a blizzard there. Here, we're looking at maybe 4 to 8. We're kind of on the outside of it, and it's kind of it's one of those storms that's going to depend. It could go north or south, and we could have more or less. So we'll let you know tomorrow morning what it looks like. Chris F. Grave up in Canada. Can't root for you today, Chris. John Tortorella said it best in between periods. Coaching talks with today's generation. Gone are the days of long-winded speeches. To connect with today's players, I'm going to assume should be in there. You need to be as short and concise as possible, something I am not able to do myself. So you're saying Herb Brooks could not coach this team to an Olympic gold? I watched Miracle on Ice again last night. I had to get into this. And by the way, there's a great documentary on Netflix about that 1980 Olympic team as well. It's something that's been chronicled over and over again, and it's just a great piece. It's well done. You always find some new stuff. You retrace a lot of territory, obviously, but all those are fun to me. You're never going to see that again. I mean, the U.S. would have lost. They just lost to the Russians, by the way, like 10 days before they played them in 1980, like 10-1 or something, some crazy number. And they probably would have lost, 90 out of 100, or 9 out of 10. Could have made it smaller. But that day, they just had what it took. And they still had to go out and beat Finland for the gold. So, and no, nobody watched that game live. So don't tell me you watched the game live. So shots on goal too by 9-9 right now. Canada had a pretty significant edge, like 7-1 when the one shot the U.S. had attempted went in. So some really good defense being played here. Listen, the Canadians too. Don't forget, both these teams were on the edge at least once this week. The Canadians behind twice to Czechia and Finland. By 2-0 to Finland. They scored 3 goals to win that. I think they won in overtime, if I'm not mistaken. The U.S. had to beat Sweden in overtime after allowing a last-second goal to force overtime. So it's been an exciting week in hockey. And my wife even was watching this. She didn't want to watch any of it. I was watching the women, and she wasn't excited. And she got more excited as we went on. I don't know whether this is actually going to happen, but it would be a shame if the city of Chicago loses an iconic franchise like the Bears. It's bad enough when teams move across the river in New York to New Jersey. I don't know how far away this is. Maybe one of you guys know. I haven't looked up the distance, and maybe it's not that far. But it irks me, not as a fan. How are the Giants and the Jets the New York Giants? How? When you don't play in the state. It's always irked me. I don't know about the fans. If I'm New Jersey and I'm a Giant and Jet fan, which there are a ton, obviously. There were no teams in New Jersey, football teams, before they went there. I want them to be identified as my state. The Bears still going to be able to be the Chicago Bears playing in Indiana. I thought there was a whole new stadium being built out by the lake. I don't know, maybe I know Northwestern's getting a new one. Today is U.S. hockey, 100%. And this team has been driven by the Kachuk brothers and the Hughes brothers. Bodley, I think, got the first goal here today, but I think both emotionally and performance-wise, you've seen the Kachucks and the Hughes brothers do very, very well here and drive this team. I'm seeing a lot of hockey being played right now in the USN. Donna's in PA, and we're supposed to have a blizzard. That's right, you're in PA. Yeah, you're everything south of us, south of Albany, is going to get hammered pretty good, including the city and Jersey, Philadelphia. I'm sorry, Pennsylvania. Everything east of us is going to get hit pretty hard. Connecticut, as I said. So. Philadelphia. My son-in-law's got family in Philadelphia. Hello, AC. Good to have you with us. Let's go USA. Oh. Big shot right on goal, missed by the U.S. there. West Coast can't complain about early 5 a.m. start. We benefit by, well, this is true. You do benefit from pretty much everything else. So every time I travel west, my brother used to live in Utah, and, which was only a couple hours, but still, being out in California, being out in Vegas, traveling for work and whatnot, being at my brother's in Utah, you know, to watch football on Sunday and it's all over by, 6 o'clock, and not 11. Well, I guess that's probably an exaggeration, right? It's not over till about 9, 8. But still, I would love to be able to, get up and watch football at 10 o'clock in the morning, but then we'd have to adjust the time of this show. EC into the game. The new documentary was awesome for sure. Well done. Great time to watch it too, right? I watched Micah Ruzioni on the pregame here today, and I met Micah Ruzioni in Lake Placid. I tried to get him on the show here and haven't been able to do it. Met him quickly, just, we didn't have a long conversation or anything. But he's got basically an Olympic hockey store up there. It's a great venue. And by the way, New York really getting serious about trying to bring the Winter Olympics back to New York, and Lake Placid would be a big part of that plan. A lot of the events, figure skating and whatnot, would be in the bigger arenas in the city. But the alpine events, the bobsled and the skiing and ski jumping would all be played in Lake Placid. The hockey would not revisit the Olympic I don't know what they call it, field house. The field house in Lake Placid is too small. It only holds about 5,000 people. You walk in there and you think, oh my God, Lake Placid could never host an entire Olympics again. Could they do something like the alpine events if New York got it? They could. But we're talking 2038 or 2042. This guy will be 78 years old in 2038. I don't know much hockey I'm going to care about. I'm just kidding. I expect to be very into it. And by the way, that's a long shot, I think, for New York to get these. Logistical nightmares abound. But these Olympics, too, are spread out all over the place now. They don't do them like, again, in 1980, Lake Placid, all the events were played in this level. You drive up to Lake Placid and you'd be shocked at how small this town is. You'd be shocked. Speed skating was outdoors. Just a throwback little village. Love going up there. We go up at least once a year. Miguel Sano has bashed 9 home runs already in winter ball. Didn't he get in trouble for something? Colorado articles out about needing a first baseman. Well, they'll lose 110 games with Sagano or nobody there, or Sano there, or nobody. Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, look at, if you're in Philadelphia, if the Eagles move to, I don't know, what's close to Philadelphia, Atlantic City, would you be okay with them being called the Philadelphia Eagles? It's not going to happen. Or to Delaware, someplace close to Philadelphia, right? I think Delaware is kind of close. No. I mean, New England did the right thing. They named their teams the New England Patriots. They could have played in Foxborough. They played in Boston originally. They played in Foxborough when they talked about moving the team to Hartford and Bridgeport, Providence at different times in the 80s. And they could have still been the New England Patriots. The only way they wouldn't be, and Bob Kraft saved them from this, being moved to St. Louis. This team was almost packed and ready to go to St. Louis when Bob Kraft stepped in and started the machinations to acquire this team. It's a great story if you don't know how Bob Kraft acquired this team. They're saying that the name is going to remain the Chicago Bears. Boldy scored. That's what I think I said that. I don't know. Matt Boldy. Yes, I realized he scored today. I was talking pretty much about carrying them through these entire Olympics. That the Kachucks, I think the Kachucks have been the emotional spark, if you will, behind this team. And then the Hughes brothers have been absolutely awesome. It's funny because every time Mike Tirico and all the guys, the guys calling the game, Eddie Olczyk, when they say Jack Hughes, they say it so fast because they use both names because of them being brothers. It sounds like Jacques Hughes all the time. my wife thinks I'm watching the French play. USA keep it out of their zone. Needs to keep it out of their zone. Be nice to have it. It would be awesome to be back in Lake Placid. Don, if you've never been up there, it is a wonderful trip to go to the field house. They've got a great exhibition there about the Olympics in general. Both times they were played in Lake Placid. It was like in the 30s and then again in 1960. And you can go to where the speed skating was. It's a high school property now, I think. There's a lot of great restaurants and brew pubs up there. It's a great little town. And you can go up and ride a bobsled if you go at the right time of year. And you can do some fun stuff. My wife was at Lake Placid for the 80 Olympics, Rick said. Did not see the hockey. He was supposed to be working security. I didn't know that. Again, you ride through this town and you watch the Olympics now and the spectacle that it is. And it was a spectacle then. But there's no way there. You have to fly to Albany and drive 2 to 3 hours. It's 2 hours for probably almost 3 hours. And there's like one road in there. It had to be a freaking logistical nightmare putting these events on in this little town. But a lot of fun. But those days are gone. 1998, the late, great Bill Mazeroski, Stats Magazine. What? Anyway, I read the first speculation about steroids comment on a Pirates first baseman surge out of nowhere. Something doesn't add up. Who says that? Bill Mazeroski? Bill Mazeroski seemed to be a classy guy. A lot of people through the years have kind of questioned his Hall of Fame credentials. Listen, the guy won 8 Gold Gloves. He was the best defensive second baseman of his time and maybe of all time. Not flashy like some of these guys today. Turned a double play tremendously, him and Gene Alley in the 60s. You go back and watch old footage of these guys. And he hit a huge home run. I think we talked about on the roundtable this morning, and Jack mentioned that it was the equivalent of the 80 U.S. team beating the Russians in hockey. The Pirates beating the Yankees that year. The Yankees were a powerhouse, and he hits the first walk-off home run, I believe, and we weren't calling them walk-off home runs then in Major League Baseball history, but a great player, and he belongs in the Hall of Fame. He was the benchmark. So Phil Rizzuto getting in the Hall of Fame. For years, Rizzuto couldn't get in. And they would compare him to Mazeroski, and I think fairly. And finally, Phil got in as well. No, not at all. The Sixers were supposed to move to Camden, New Jersey. I think I remember that. And still be called the Philadelphia Sixers. Call yourself where you are. If Buffalo were to move to Toronto, are they the Buffalo Bills? It's not happening because I'm paying for a stadium to be built there. Thank you, Governor Hochul. While you're busy talking about the high cost of energy and blaming, a county executive in Nassau for the fact that my electric bills are so much, I don't know how that works. Maybe you ought to just retire, move back to Buffalo, and go to the stadium, get your season tickets. In the stadium, you're making me and the taxpayers pay for it, basically. How about that? Yeah, it was a great breakaway save. I think we're talking about the one I kind of mentioned as I watched it live. So now we got they're on a power play here, just ending up. My bad. It's 5-on-3. Wow. Great save. Great save. 8 seconds. I didn't even notice where they were on a 5-on-3. Holy moly. They're going to kill this penalty. It'd be amazing. Good morning, JB. Good to have you with us this morning. You should get up there. There's a couple of great little hotels that they're not that. Depending on the time of year you go and whatnot, they're really pretty affordable. There's some great restaurants in town. They got a great homemade ice cream place. You can basically walk the entire strip. I mean, we walked. I didn't drive anywhere. I mean, you walked to one end of town and walked to the other end of town where the hockey field house was and all that. And it's a lot of fun. What a great 2 seconds, 1 second. They killed this penalty if they can get guys on the ice. Great job. What a great job. A 5-on-3. I don't know how long they were 5-on-3 there, Danny. What a great job. That is one of the best. Oh, wait, that was 9 seconds left. Oh, on the original power play. I see. They killed the whole thing. There was 2 guys that weren't out at the same time, obviously. This is just amazing. Back It Up Bench. Check out JB and his Back It Up Bench podcast on YouTube. Great stuff. Yeah, another penalty for the U.S. Cannot afford to have power plays. How about Hellenbike here? Amazing. And the whole defense to kill this. 5 seconds left on a face-off in the U.S. end. Kevin Young was the first baseman we're talking about. Remember Kevin Young very well. Yeah, they've just about killed it now. Oh, unbelievable he's playing. And the whole defense to kill that power play, they're not even going to try here. So they're back at full strength. They killed a 5-on-3 power play. Amazing. Great job. 7 for 17 on penalties killed in this tournament. Great point. That is a huge thing that we don't pay enough attention to. Success and success on offense, success on defense in killing power plays or taking advantage of them. There haven't been a ton. Heck, when I was watching the U.S. and I think it was Sweden, I was shocked that there weren't a lot of penalties. And I think that was right. I may have the wrong game. It might have been soccer, but not a lot of face-offs either. It feels like the game is called a lot differently than it would be at the NHL level. So we're at full strength, and I'm caught up in comments. I don't usually get caught up this fast. So lots of hockey to talk about. We can sit here and just watch the hockey game together if you want, but we can talk about anything else you got going on in the world of sports. Lots to talk about. Huge game in college basketball yesterday with Duke and Michigan. John Shire's done a tremendous job at Duke in keeping that program. They had a little dip when Coach K left, but he got them back to an elite level pretty quickly. When you compare it to the struggles that Hubert Davis has had outside of one kind of fluke run to the Final Four his first year, John Shire's done a much better job, I think, of keeping that program at an elite level than Hubert Davis has. And, that's credit to the entire program, obviously. Bernie Nichols scheduled to do a sign-in greet event. Does Bernie Nichols belong in a Hall of Fame? I don't. Let me see. Let me just take a quick look here, Chris, while we got a little break in the action. Let's take a look at his numbers. The hockey reference. Moved around the league a lot, obviously. Only played 1, 2, 3 All-Star games. No championships. Oops, Charlie. Come here. I just kicked the cat. Get over here. All right. It's one of these. This is not an easy call because, again, when you're playing, he's a center. Does he score enough? I gotta say, I'm gonna say no. He played a long time. A lot of hockey players play a long time. I don't think Bernie Nichols is a Hall of Famer. Hallenbuck's mask, it's a great mask. I feel like they've taken some of and again, not being as loyal a follower of the NHL than I have in other places, and I don't know if the international competition is different. I feel like the goalies are less cumbersome. They're not as big in the gate, not as much equipment because they've grown. For a while in the NHL, these guys were so big with the pads and everything else, and the sticks got so big. I can't imagine we ever scored. But they seem to be taking up less space in the net right now. And I don't know, maybe the dimensions of the pads and stuff are different in international play. I'm not quite sure. But there's been some great goaltending play here too as well. The defense, I think, in most of these games has been outstanding. And we've seen a lot of overtime. Canada had to overcome 2 trailing in both their last 2 games, as I said. Great job by them. You got to give them credit. And I give the rest of the world credit because Czechia and Finland played very, very well throughout these Olympics. Slovakia played well from time to time. In fact, who won yesterday? I think Finland beat up Slovakia pretty good yesterday, but 6-1. But I think it's just been a great. Pumpernickel belongs in the Hall of Fame. That's about it. Yeah, I can't see. They are less cumbersome, right? When I say cumbersome, I don't mean for the individual. I mean taking up space. So I'm thinking the international rules might be different. Or maybe the goal's bigger. I don't know. The crease might be bigger. It doesn't look it. Another nice stick save there. He's played great through this whole series, though, I think. And this is the last event of the Olympics. It's now, I guess, like 3:30 in the afternoon. We have the closing ceremonies in just a few hours. Oof. We spent a lot of time down our end of the rink here. Now they got it cleared. Good job. Good job. What else, guys? I know we're all watching the hockey. It's hard to do a show today without just doing a watch along, right? And we got somebody hurt for the U.S. It looks like. Just trying to check my notes while we're talking. I'll kind of talk about some stuff. You guys throw out, if you got, some thoughts on anything, just put it up there, and we'll talk about it. How about I want to go back to the Olympics. Stay in the Olympics, but how about Alyssa Liu? I mean, did anybody not appreciate just the pure joy that she had the other night? Of Thursday night, wasn't it? I think figure skating finals, and she was out there, wasn't looking like she felt any pressure, didn't feel like she was thinking about winning medals. Just a pure joy compared to some of her teammates listen, I want guys who, I love the women. I love the Alyssa Lou's attitude, right? And afterwards, and, not bashing her country. The women's Olympic team, hockey team, wins the gold. They stand arm in arm singing the national anthem. God bless those girls. Jeez. I want to see that. I don't want to see these guys who want to go off on their own country. Just stay home or go find some lineage in where you can go compete for Trinidad or someplace. So anyway, I found Alyssa Lou's performance to be just breathtaking. Number one, I don't understand the judging, by the way, because if I'm watching, I didn't see her make a mistake compared to other skaters, and she did win this fairly handily, I guess. She did come from third place to first place. But it was just a breathtaking performance, and just a joy on her face as she performed was just remarkable. A lot of times you don't see it until these girls are done, and it's more relief than it is joy. And I think it's the same way with the men, but I thought it was just a breath of fresh air the other night. And I've seen some really good stuff. I mean, we've seen a lot of stories about guys who, on the negative side, who have had to make, their political statements the same way that entertainers and other athletes, professional athletes, well, these are professional athletes, let's not kid ourselves. But I think there's been a lot of really good stories as well. I'm going to bet this hockey team they win, they get invited to the White House, and they'll all show up. Staying too much in the zone. Well, you certainly do if you want to score goals. Canada now has a 22-15 shot advantage. It's now 23-15. Man, they spent a lot of time in the front of the net. Great goaltending by Bull. I agree. I don't want to take away from the Canadians. This is a great team. And a lot of these players don't like each other. We talked this morning about the fans, right? And some of the animosity. I don't think the fans. Listen, Chris is from Canada. We have got other Canadian people that come on the shows. And I know a lot of people in Canada because I worked for a Canadian-based company for 25 years before I retired. I don't feel the animosity between peoples. The animosity is on the ice. We saw it in the Four Nations. Brett Lowry played like his head was on fire. It was noted by Cito Gaston. Can you name another player who needed to cool it? Paul O'Neill. I'm not sure the context of his comment, right? But he's talking about like hot heads. As a Yankee fan, Paul O'Neill comes to mind because that guy must have broke more water coolers than any player in Major League Baseball history. Here we are again. Why are we down here in this zone? The Canadians have done a great job of keeping this puck in their end, but they can't break through the defense. Another shot on goal, another great save. Oh, now we got there's some animosity between these guys. They're mixing it up now a little bit. You don't see a lot of that in Olympic hockey, but these guys are well acquainted with each other. Keyboard mouthpiece Marcus Stroman can't buy a job. Not a big fan of Marcus Stroman. His time with the Yankees didn't endear me to him anymore either. It is amazing. I mean, 24-15 shots on goal. That's a significant disadvantage or advantage for Canada. It's just some great saves here. Man, eventually they're going to break through here. if they keep getting these, I mean, there's some. I mean, we talk about shots on goal. They're right on goal. They're not from, the blue line. Just a great. There's Kachuk in the middle of that. A lot of these guys don't like each other. There's a lot of animosity. You saw it. If you remember back to the Four Nations, I mean, obviously the fans got into it there, but those are hockey fans. I'm just talking about, I think everyday Americans and Canadians like myself and Chris and, people, I don't think there's animosity necessarily between the two countries. I think with the players there is, and I think with the hockey fans, the rabid hockey fans, I think there is. Like I said, I know a lot of great Canadians, so I don't know any Canadian. Actually, I do know some Canadian hockey players. I had a guy who worked for me, and Brett sometimes pops in the show. If you're out there today, Brett, how you doing? Brett Cloutier played in the New Jersey Devils organization for a long time. Never quite made it to the show, but he did play in with the Albany River Rats, and he did play out in Binghamton. So he played at the highest level of the minor leagues of hockey, and just a great guy, And I'll tell you, when his dad got sick, they brought him here to the U.S. just for medical care, just to you can make exactly what you want there. The animosity, Danny says the animosity is showing from the opening faceoff. I agree. It's been a physical game, so much for these guys playing not to get hurt in the second half of the hockey season. Listen, that's a great point. I mean, you saw Sidney Crosby's already gotten hurt and been out for the last 2 games. These guys are laying it all out there, and I like to see that. International competitions, one thing I'll say, when the professionals go, I don't think they're half-assing it, looking not to get hurt. Maybe their teams don't like that. I don't care. Olympic hockey, this is another level, but WBC, the same kind of thing. You see players go out there and I think giving their all for the most part. And again, I don't think that certainly reaches the level of importance that we've had here. Here's putting up the stats now. 2002 Canada defeated us 5-2. Canada's defeated in Vancouver 3-2. And those were 2 times we had NHL players there. But I thought this was like the 4th time, but I could be wrong. We've gone a long time without NHL players. 2012. I see it was bound to happen. Great shot. You just can't give them point blank shots and expect them to stop this forever. Yeah. Mark Pabus, how are you, my friend? Good to have you with us. It's turned into a watch along more than my normal Sunday show, but that's fine too. Listen, this is a great shot too. Eventually you just can't. I mean, when I say there's a shots advantage, if you're watching the game, you know what I'm saying. It's not just a shot advantage. I mean, some of these shots, most of these shots are like point blank, center ice, man. And here we go off the faceoff, right back into our zone. Get out of this period tied. I feel an overtime game coming again, guys. I don't know about you. I just feel an overtime game coming. I'm not crazy. There's a topic we can talk about a little bit too. You have a great day too, Donna. Gonna miss your commentary here as we go along, but we still got a good group of guys. Mark Pabus, again, glad to see you here. Certainly don't hesitate to comment further and comment any Sunday or other days we have shows and that you tune into. Good to have you with us. And please go like TGI Sports Talk on Facebook and YouTube. Go to YouTube. We are going to make a push for YouTube here. Got a call hopefully with CA tomorrow and his wife looking to optimize our YouTube presence a little better. Probably be starting a new from in talking with him. We may have to start a new YouTube page, but it's not a big deal, guys. You'll There's only 88 of you, 3,000-ish on Facebook, and only 88 on YouTube. You can see why I want to maximize YouTube a little bit more, and maybe get off of social media altogether. I guess we can call YouTube social media, but it's a little bit different than the cesspool that is Facebook. And plus, they jerk me around too much. Ivan Kravchuk, my favorite Slovenian hockey player, a name. That handle has more bite than a ham sandwich. Another near miss for the Canadians. 26-15 on the shots now. When's the last time? There's one. That's the first shot on goal they've had in it feels like 10 or 11 minutes. 20 seconds left in the period here. They couldn't get it centered. That's going to be, I think, Canadian. That's probably going to, they might get one more shot here. An offside penalty. U.S. might get one more quick shot here. 5 seconds left. An exciting game. It's pretty much what I expected. Is anything happening here that people didn't expect to see? I didn't read down his comment here. It feels like old school 15-round boxer needs to survive the round and get to the rest before the next round. U.S. is in major trouble. They're going to survive the period here. Tied, which is good. They got to regroup a little bit. Yeah, this will probably be just nothing. Well, he took a shot from way out. We got another scuffle here as we end the period. This is going to be an interesting third period and potential overtime. Who's in the middle of this one? Marchand. Guys don't like each other. Don't buy it. I'm trying to tell Jack on Friday and this morning, he's downplaying the players' animosity. This is happening right in front of the U.S. bench. He's downplaying the players' animosity, and it doesn't matter that they play together or don't play together. A lot of these guys play against each other in the NHL as well. Don't forget. Oh, there's a tough one off the post, man. I missed that. So we'll go into this second intermission, tied at 1-1. One thing to think about, it is going to be crazy, Danny. I agree 100%. One thing I wanted to talk about, we can talk about and we can talk about anything now. We got a 20-minute intermission or whatever it is. I think Bad Bunny's going to come out during the period. Kidding. Bad Bunny. What are they going to talk about? Oh, yeah. If this game should go to overtime. Do we like the 3-on-3? I know I'm not crazy about any sport that diametrically changes the game and the way it's played for their overtimes. Right? I don't like a runner going to second base in baseball. Hate it. I didn't like home run derbies to decide the All-Star game. I don't like 3-on-3 in hockey. It's not hockey anymore. Imagine if the NFL played 7-on-7 in overtime. You're diametrically changing the game. So you're going to play this way for 3 hours, 4 hours. I hate it. What do you guys think? And then, by the way, I think after one period, they're going to go to a shootout, which is even worse. Well, you're probably behind. I'm probably behind, Rick, because of the feed. I'm watching on NBC streaming, but so it could be behind your thing. But remember, we're already 15 to 30 seconds behind on the StreamYard feed. So my my broadcast is delayed from where you're seeing it. So that's probably what you're seeing there. So I apologize, but that's okay. Actually, I don't know because I called the Canadian score before you posted it, so I don't know how far behind I am. I can't tell. And everybody, it's different for everybody too, Rick. That's the thing. Some of you might have a 5-second delay. Some might seem to have like up to a minute. So I think it depends on where you're watching me and that type of thing. I didn't see it hit both posts, so it hit the left and the right side second. Too funny. Don't change what's broke. First overtime to the fifth overtime, you play full strength. Thank you, Danny. I don't care. We would have missed out on some great NHL playoff games, right? If we just said, okay, we're going to change the rules. We're going to play about 3-on-3, which is probably going to end it within 10 minutes. And then if we don't win, then we're going to go to a shootout. Soccer does these crazy things. It's just stupid. Why start playing a game after 60 minutes or whatever we're talking about, whatever sport we're talking about, or 9 innings, and start playing a different game? Man, I'm just too old school. We got birthdays. Happy heavenly birthday to Sparky George Lee Anderson. Oh, I thought you know Sparky. I know you are. Independent League is still going strong. I don't remember him being. When was he part of that? During his playing career, or see if I can find some Sparky Anderson, Toronto baseball. See if I can get something. There it is, 1964, Cooperstown in Canada. This is, that there was this website. Sparky Anderson's first managerial job was in Toronto. And happy birthday, heavenly birthday, Sparky. One of the best managers in my lifetime, and just a true character and great ambassador for the game. He became the first manager to win a World Series when he won with the Tigers to win both leagues, American League and the National League. He was signed by the Dodgers in 1953, advanced to AAA Montreal, which was their Dodgers' top farm team for a long, long time. And he led them to a league title, or helped lead them to a league title by hitting a bunch of doubles that year. I want to see. There you go. So he played 10 minor league seasons north of the border. During that time, he was voted the International League smartest player 5 times. I didn't even know they had such an award. Good thing you don't have it now. It would have to be vacated, probably. And at just 30 years old, he accepted his first managerial post with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Interesting. He admits his own temper was out of control the first season as manager. I think he had the same problem when he was managing, I think he managed in Hawaii in the San Diego system before he was a third base coach there. But he compiled an 80-72 record for the Leafs, and he made his way to the U.S. then. He was named the field boss of the Reds in 1970, as I said, after being a coach and I think minor league manager with the San Diego Padres before that. Dodgers fan, but loved Sparky and respected the Big Red Machine. Listen, I got to tell you, the Big Red Machine, well, I guess you can go from even when they weren't winning World Series, 72, 73, 74, but 75, 76. That might be the best team ever compiled in baseball. Maybe a little short on pitching, but that lineup, best lineup in the history of baseball, I think. There was a time where we wonder if they were going to get over the hump in the 70s. When Sparky got there, they started winning right away. They went to the World Series in 70 and got beat by the Orioles. They went in 72, got beat by the A's. They went in 73. They lost the CS to the Mets. 74, they were out. And then 75, they had that great series. Probably the best World Series, again, in my lifetime, as I said. Maybe the best World Series of all time. Again, wasn't here for all of them. Jack was. But that 1975 series had everything, and the Reds just found a way to outlast the Red Sox. Great game. We think about Game 6, but there was some great moments throughout that series that were a lot of fun. And if it wasn't for the A's, the Reds might have won more. Well, they only beat the Reds once, the A's themselves. The Dodgers, it was the Dodgers and the Reds at that point, right? I mean, they won the division, I want to say. So they won the division in 70. Giants won it in 71. 72 was the Reds again. 73 was the Reds again. 74 was the Dodgers. 75, Reds. Then you got the Dodgers twice. Then 79, I guess it was the Reds again, but they didn't advance to the World Series. John McNamara had taken over that team in 79. How do I do, Danny? That's pretty good, I think. But that A's dynasty, still probably the most underrated dynasty in the history of baseball. People think, and it was probably an upset in 1972, but this was a damn good baseball team. And in 72, they beat the Reds without Reggie Jackson. Remember, he got hurt in the championship series against the Tigers, scoring a run. He tore his hamstring. Great player. So, they played shorthanded and beat them anyway. Great pitching, great defense, timely hitting. Where'd you hear that before? Pitching, defense, and timely hitting wins World Series? It can still happen to you. Good morning, Matt. How are you, my friend? Good to have you with us. I think I did. 70s was my era, man. I play a lot of Stratomatic baseball, the online 365. And I like to play the 70s era mystery. It's mystery card league. But if you ever play I know we've talked about Stratomatic on this show before, but the 70s is my sweet spot. Right now, I'm in way too many leagues, actually, because we've got some that are 2-team franchises where you can only take players that, played on those franchises in this decade, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and you can switch one team out every year. There's another one that I'm playing in that is a 60s franchise. So they have, so there's 5 cards in every mystery set for each player. And his rookie year would be the first year listed, and his last year would be the last year listed. So I've actually done fairly well on that. I took over a team when I did. It was horrible and lost 108 games the first year, and then won the league the second year. And I'm in the finals again this year. So. But too many. Plus, I'm playing in a mystery tournament, which is you're playing 60s, 70s, 80s. Right now, we're getting ready to start the 80s. But at some point, you'll have 5 different decades going at the same time. And you accumulate points for all of them. Finished 60th out of 240 last year. So trying to best that this year. Struggling a little bit. A lot of fun. Talk about the Reds missing some pitching in the 70s. The A's, before they broke that team up, probably had the best one through 4 starting pitching at all time. I don't disagree with that at all, Danny. Those A's teams with Catfish and Vita Blue and Kenny Holtzman, and who am I missing? I'm missing somebody important. God, who's the 4th starter? Had to be a righty. Who am I forgetting? And we're talking about the 72, 73, 74 teams. Gosh, who was the other starter? Damn, help me out, Danny. Matt can tell me. You got the 70s Topps cards. How about, Matt, I'll throw this out to you. I talked about it earlier. The Honus Wagner. Again, I know these are series they put out. Where's the thing I wrote down? Oops. The come on, where are you? T206 series. 5.1 million one of those cards sold for yesterday, and it's like the 14th time since 2016 one of those cards is sold for $1 million or more. But who is that fourth pitcher? Damn it. Why can't I think of the fourth pitcher? Holtzman, Blue, Hunter. It's crazy that I can't remember this. That was just a really good team. They beat the Reds. They beat the Mets, who were probably the worst team they played in the World Series in that 3-year stretch. And then the Dodgers in '74, who had a really good team, and they had a pretty good staff too. If you remember, Tommy John had gotten hurt, but they still had Andy Messersmith anchoring the staff. Sutton, Al Downing was a big part of that rotation. 74. I think he probably had a down year. Al Downing, he was probably on the way down, but I believe Doug Rao pitched on that team, and Rick Roden. Why can't I remember that other guy? Blue Moon Odom. Yeah. All these guys had a fight with each other. Blue Moon fought with Vita Blue, or I'm not sure if that's correct or not. Raleigh Fingers got in fights with Reggie. Oh, I think Blue Moon Odom got in a fight with Raleigh too. Bando and Reggie. These guys were fighting all the time, man. Only about 10 of those Wagners still exist. That's why it's amazing to me the money that these collectors will pay for these cards. You know, $5.1 million. Even when the first Honus Wagner card was sold for over $1 million, and according to the report that I read today, Matt, 14 times in the last 10 years. One of these 10 cards is sold for over $1 million, and this was a record at 5.1. I thought it was interesting, and I know that you're heavily into that thing. I still have I got a bunch of them. Matt gave me a ton of cards, and I've got a lot of them are kind of behind me. So where I've got maybe a picture of the Babe, I've also got a couple of cards of some classic Yankee guys. On the other side, where I've got I got a Mickey card that he gave me, and a DiMaggio card. I got center fielders over there. I got more contemporary World Series champions, the '78 group. I've got kind of in different places up there. They also adorned my Christmas tree here in my office this year. So as we wait the third period here, and the cool thing is that we'll be able to be here for the rest of this game as we go to 11 o'clock this morning. You guys can bring up anything else you want to talk about. We talked a little about the Bears moving to Indiana. I think that really sucks, by the way. They promoted cigars, so the company pulled them. Really? That's interesting. They promoted them how? There was like a cigar ad on the card? I don't remember there ever being advertisements on the cards. Or did they come with cigars? I love Matt. Matt sent me some great stuff. I don't know how. Oh, I had some of this up. Bobby, look at this card. Bobby was my guy. And this great card for Bobby Mercer. He was my guy when I was a kid. Just amazing player. Go back to the 70s. We're talking about 70s baseball. We got a little Horace Clark action going on here. Good stuff. And again, I just got a few Thurman. A great shot of Thurman, by the way. Love this guy. Randolph, Goose. Good action shot of Aaron Judge. These are the guys I had up on my tree. DiMaggio. Great card of DiMaggio. Love that. Matt's been very kind to send me Patriot and Yankee cards. 1-1. We're getting ready to start the third period here, guys. So really good stuff going on today. Lots of fun. Oh, they were in the cigar boxes. So that's where. Did you know what you were getting, or was it just a card? Was there a group of cards? So it was like bubble gum. The bubble gum came with the cards, so these cards came with the cigars, eh? Were anything other than Honus Wagner's cards included? I'm watching Eddie Olczyk and Kenny Albert, by the way, and it makes me think. I wish Kenny Albert's done a good job here, but I wish Doc Emmerich were here doing these games. I love Doc Emmerich, best play-by-play announcer in any sport in the history of sports. Sorry, Vin Scully, you're a close second. But I'm watching them dressed in turtlenecks and the vest, right? And I think to myself, if they were doing a game in the U.S., it'd be just as cold. But they'd be in a stadium and they'd be in a blazer or something, probably. I love the look, though. I love the look. Probably mystery boxes. Cool. But were there other players? And the U.S. trying to start this period in the Canadian zone, but it didn't last long. As here we come. I got to tell you, this Canadian offense, that's how good the goaltending's been, because this Canadian offense is quick. I mean, they seem to have guys darting to the net every time you. Well, I haven't seen it yet here, but pretty much every time they're in the zone, there they go. There's a guy coming to the net. I think their offense is really good, but the goaltending has been exceptional. There's CA. Good morning, my friend. How are you? Good stuff. 27-16 now the shots are. 19 minutes left. Mike Sullivan looking a little bit concerned. Oh, there's Mike Sullivan. Yes, he's calling out some plays here. Former Penguins coach, right, Rangers coach. Yeah, they are deep. This team, well, both these teams are deep, but I think the Canadians are just a little bit deeper, and that's where one of the advantage comes in for them. I think that third line might be just a bit better, not a lot, but just a bit better. There's Michaela Schifrin, gold medalist in the slalom. One of the women have been very successful. Kudos to the women athletes in this Olympics because they have been exceptional, winning. Find my little note I put up here earlier. Where is it? Somewhere. Michaela Schifrin, she continues her legacy as one of the top contenders in women's slalom and the technical events. She did really well. Ilya Malian, the quad god, kind of fell on his face. The women, though, Elizabeth Lemley, another great save. What did she do? She secured gold in the women's moguls. The women's mixed team aerials won gold. Kaylee Humphreys in the bobsled, the two-man women bobsled, they won gold. Chloe Kim, snowboarder, was one of the top contenders for another gold in the half pipe. The ice dancing team with Madison Chalk on there secured a silver medal. And we know the women won the gold in hockey, and Alessa Liu won in figure skating. A lot of fun. I wouldn't give two craps about figure skating, but Olympic time comes and you just get mesmerized by it. It does amazing. That was an amazing save for sure. Couple times. It's been Matt says 500 different players were in those cigar boxes, by the way. Right, Rick, what do you got here, Rick? This morning we talked about quarterbacks calling their own plays. I ran the plays in and we were on the goal line. I forgot the play and gave Dave Butcher a play we scored on. Coming off the field, Coach Roberti, I'm assuming, said, "Who called the play?" Dave saved my ass and said he did. That's pretty funny. You can say ass, Rick. We're not going to get kicked off of anything. Just watching as the U.S. has spent a little more time. Oh, we got a breakaway? Not quite. Canadians always have two or three guys fly into that net, man. A funny story when he was coaching, my brother, I seen him play. He changed. He changed it, and we scored on it. It was like what we were running. I was like, "What are we running?" And then we scored. Of course, I did not take credit for it. Good for you. I let everyone know that it's not the play I called, just to show the one play sometimes gets better. The one playing sometimes gets a better feel for what's going on. I agree 100%. Everybody's got the game on now, Matt. Good job. It's been an exciting game. 1-1, 16:38 left in the third period. The Canadians have dominated shots on goal, but both goalies have been just exceptional here. And I think the Canadian offense has been really good. It just can't get the puck in the net. Yeah, so I don't know what to make of it. Whether it's a Canadian offense, I kind of praise the U.S. defense, but we've spent so much time in this end of the rink. Just interesting. Oh, keep it in. Nah. Now they got to reset. I knew you were talking in your phone. That's all right. We managed to get through it, Danny. Good morning, Jeremy. How are you? Breakaway here. Oh, another nice save. Another nice save. Rick was talking about the delay before. That's why it's hard doing these watch-alongs. I know Alan likes to do them. I don't normally do them because of the delay. It's hard, right? What I just said, whoa, what a great play, probably happened at least 15 seconds ago, if not 30. No, that's not true. Actually, I saw it in real time. You see my reaction 15 seconds. That was badly explained. You see my reaction 15 to 30 seconds after it happens. Another nice save. Good morning, Jeremy, again. Good to have you with us over there in Detroit. We're watching some hockey and commenting on the game and also other stuff going on in sports. Next goal wins would be great. Gold match. OT could be a classic. We talked about this before too, CA. I think we're going to go to overtime here. I don't like the 3-on-3 format, though. Let's just keep playing hockey. Talking into their phone, somebody wake up Wisconsin Paul. Where is Paul today? Probably. That's a good point, too. If I react within 15 seconds, you really caught me on a good day. Some funny stuff. Listen, speaking of, went out and played some golf yesterday, too. We went to the bunker and played the simulators. I didn't play badly, struck the ball pretty well, but the simulators are very hard for, feel around the green and stuff. Anyway, we had fun. Went with three of my neighbors up here, great guys, and just want to give a shout out to Tom Daubney and his wife, Dawn. She's going through some health issues, which we won't get into, but we want to send our thoughts and lots of positive energy her way. Always a tough thing, and we certainly hope the best for the best of outcomes here as they go through this. Yeah, Paul might be at the grocery store for sure. It's entirely possible. Getting stocked up for the storm that's hitting the East Coast. What was that, Super Bowl Sunday? Paul's in Wisconsin trying to see if he can get a banner. Listen, I'll bet you when they played, who'd they play for the national championship? when Chip Kelly was there. Well, it was Ohio State, I think, right? And Urban Meyer. There had to be trophies or hats and stuff made up, that they sold out down in the Caribbean or in Africa, where all those teams that lose Super Bowls and World Series and whatnot, all those hats end up somewhere, T-shirts. You could probably go to one of these countries and find an Oregon national championship hat. I'll be on the lookout for one. I guess it's a little late to be looking for it now, but. In fact, I bought a Patriot Super Bowl after the Atlanta. We were on a cruise ship for Super Bowl whatever number against Atlanta when they were down 28-3, as you remember. And the next day we were in Aruba, and I bought they had a great hat there. It's gone now. It was actually one of my golf hats. It was a great hat. Because I don't like a real busy hat. This was just one of the best hats I ever bought. But the only Patriot hat I ever bought while traveling. Brady could chuck firing up the team on the bench. I'm just watching some of the comments, trying to read the commentary because I don't have it up very loud because I don't want to annoy you guys with that background noise. But Rick has 4 Super Bowl champion hats. I mean, who's going to call you a liar? I got the hat to prove it. It's good stuff. What else Olympic-wise? Was Jordan Stotts a disappointment? He won 3 medals, I think 2 golds, but there was talk that he was going to pull an Eric Heiden here and win 5 gold medals. He didn't do it. We talked about positive stuff. What's a negative stuff? Is the quad god a big negative? That guy. And I don't want to get into their guys in their comments anymore. They're awful. The women bobsled. How about the bobsledders? All 3 of the teams wiping out in the 4-man bobsled on the same turn. These guys are going 90 miles an hour. You're upside down on the ice. You're going to get hurt. One of the Australian team had to get taken to the hospital, and he was okay. But Australia, France, Trinidad, Tobago all wiped out on that same turn. And they had a similar problem. I was watching the speed skating, not the individual, but, the one like Apollo 101, that short track or whatever they call it. But these guys were wiping out with nobody around. You see guys wipe out because they hit another guy's skate or whatever, right? You see a lot of it in that short track speed skating. But guys were they'd be leading. The one guy was leading. He was all by himself. Nobody around him, like 15 or 20 yards. And he just wiped out going around this turn. There had to be something wrong with the ice there. It was remarkable. It was in the men's 1500, I think, the other night. Jack doesn't believe in momentum, but I got to say right now, Canada has all the momentum. U.S. needs the next goal. I agree 100%. It feels like the U.S. is back on their heels here, right? 36-17 now. Shots. It's remarkable this is a one game. Because, again, those 36 shots, I mean, as Danny pointed out earlier, on one of them, a lot of these shots on goal have been point blank, man. I can't comment enough on the goaltending here. And this poor guy's going to give up a goal, and, people are going to think he's a GOAT. He's got 35 saves. With 11 minutes left, he's got 35 saves. So while the Canadian goaltender has been great too, I mean, he's only had 16 saves. We got to get more. Oh, man. He had a wide open net, missed it. Wide open net. Wow, he just kind of whiffed it, man. Well, he didn't whiff it, but wow. USA looks like they're coming. Oh, Get it. Oh, man, what a great play on the Canadian side. I don't want to see a penalty decide this thing on power play. I don't want to see that. I really don't. Good stuff. How are we doing, I wonder? We don't do these walk along or watch along, so I don't know if we're doing good or bad. What the hell? But that's going to be a big. If Canada loses, that shot that they just missed here a minute ago or so is just going to play big time into it. He had a wide open net on the right side and just pulled it over the top. Might have hit the post. Might have hit the outside of the post. Yeah. Good live audience today. Usually you would get to about we'll have anywhere between 50 and 300 live views during the show, and we've got about 500 right now. And then when I share it, we get up around 1,000. It's funny because Facebook, I know we're watching hockey, but Facebook has changed things around, so I can't find a way to get all the views to show up on TGI Sports Talk, which is beneficial for me, obviously. But right now, it shows up a lot on the other platforms. Like when I go to my personal page and share the show, I'm sharing the broadcast from the TGI Sports Talk, and they used to get all the credit. Now it's split up between the two. So another place Facebook is screwing me over. Oh, wow, the ball! Puck got past him. I think the puck got past the goalie there. I got to see a replay there, and the defenseman just kicked it out back in front of him. I got to see that again. Yeah, it's really weird, Jeremy. I don't know what's going on. But it's funny because we were talking about first last Sunday, and without doing any shares, I had like 3,000 views before I shared the show. $1,500 was probably my average for most of my run. When I was doing interviews, we would get as many as 10,000. And this show has had 5,000 or 6,000. But now we're doing, between my personal page and the TGI Sports Talk page, if we get to 1,000 the last month or so, we're doing really well. But then we have the aberration like last week because Facebook decides they put some algorithm in where you're going to get a lot of live views. But I don't know what they do with it. And as I said, I'm going to be talking with CA tomorrow afternoon, hopefully, and start the ball rolling and optimizing YouTube. So you might have to look for a new page on YouTube in the coming weeks, but I'll keep you guys abreast of that and share the link. Right? Yeah, see? But it doesn't do that anymore. Some of the interview shows used to be get some huge numbers. Yeah, I've been kicking around a little bit. I've been kicking around a little. I almost reached out to somebody the other day. We'll see, Rick. I don't know. I got to focus on this YouTube thing right now and see what it's going to take to get her going. Because, again, I'd like to get off Facebook altogether. It's just a cesspool. I mean, we keep our group chat and all that, but. Plus, I don't know what they do. Again, they're a bunch of Nazis over there. Sometimes I think they throttle views because of some of the content, quite frankly. 7.5 minutes left. 39-21 shot advantage now for the Canadians. This is going to be a remarkable victory if the U.S. pulls this off. It's been fun this morning, though. Yeah, I figured out what you're up there, Jeremy. Oh. Let's keep it in. Now set it up. Jacques Hughes. What's I can't not hear Jacques Hughes now. Feel persecuted. Oh, close to another breakaway. Wow. Bodies flying everywhere. We got an injury. Jack Hughes with a high stick. Jack Hughes. Keeping progress or checking progress on the Storm, which might be another dud here. I'm not sure. It's very, again, one they can't predict. We're going to get hammered on the coast. But here, oh, man. Oh, that wasn't, oh, no, there was not. It was against you. It was my bad. He got hit right in the face. My bad. I called that wrong. Wow. Stick right to the face. Again, we got a power play for 4 minutes. High sticking. This might be the game right here, guys. You know, so far. Yeah, right. This is probably the game. To me right now, the keys have been to this victory have been that missed shot by the Canadians, the goalie play, and killing that double, that 5-on-3, killing that penalty, kept the U.S. in this game. Now they got to take advantage of this power play. I don't think they've had a power play, the U.S. in this game, have they? Come on. Canada, geez, you wouldn't even think they had a disadvantage right now. I got an inch out of the storm that snowed for 4 hours here. So we got a decent amount of snow Friday into Saturday. We had a storm that totally missed us. They predicted about 4 to 6 inches, and we didn't get anything Wednesday. This one's going to be kind of touch and go here. Oh, geez, what another great save by the goalie, Canadian goalie. Jeepers. Yeah. Chris from Cambridge. It would feel like the team that had the best chance at a short-handed goal would be the Canadians. I mean, we're halfway through this power play, and they've gotten a few shots on goal here. But it doesn't feel, I mean, it's just not feeling like, oh, damn, another good shot. Still got plenty of time. See, I don't like those shots from the blue line on the power play. It's exciting hockey, isn't it? My wife doesn't understand it. She's like, 1-1, pretty boring. Has anything about this game been boring? Nothing. And these guys are leaving it on the ice too, man. We talked about this before. They are out there looking. They're giving up everything. Ow. Tripping penalty. Oh, God. I got to have 5 forms of ID, Rick. You see that story? So Mandami, who's totally against, voter ID and the SAVE Act, is looking for people to emergency shovel. You can't make this stuff up, by the way. Danny, you're going to love this one. But he's requiring anybody who wants to volunteer and get paid by the city to shovel during this blizzard, show 5 forms of ID. You can't make this shit up. Right? Yeah, I know. So they're going to play 4-on-4 for how long here? A minute? CA against the odds. Flip the script. Canadians have advantage on power play and OT. 3-on-3. Just do it now. Got to get tougher here. They got 4-on-4 for however long. And then they'll be shorthanded. They do have heated buses. Good stuff. So as I said, we need to take the power of the people back. Yeah. Exactly how do you do that when, you win elections and you still are not able to get anything done? And when you do, people with no common sense, just, I got to show an ID I got to show an ID to get on a plane. I got to show an ID to get my scripts. I got to show an ID to get buy beer at 66 years old in some grocery stores. But not to vote. I mean, that's, And how can that be targeted to to affect so many different people? Everybody wants to take ownership for they're disenfranchising me specifically. It's illegal aliens, it's minorities, and women. Well, it can't be all 3 of them being targeted. And why would married women be targeted by the Republicans? Explain that to me. When they vote, like 57% are registered Republicans. You just use common sense, man. Sorry. Now they got an extra for 52 seconds. Canada's got a power play. Wow. Exciting stuff here, man. Show an ID to go figure. Need to go 18-18 on power plays. Hope he didn't just wake up a sleeping giant. Almost killed it here. Didn't clear it. They're going to get one more shot. Oh, wow. This is tell me this is not exciting hockey. They killed it again. You called the 18 for 18, Danny. Great job. Are they on a break with the hockey or the darts, CA? Is that why we got you for the hockey? This game going overtime. Who said CA was a CA said that they have an advantage? I don't know if we all agree with 3-on-3. Listen, I don't like 3-on-3 to begin with. I don't know if Canada's got a big advantage or not. So you guys can certainly offer up an opinion on that. That was a little bit ago. Sorry about that, Danny. It's only fitting this game goes overtime. Both teams have needed OT to get here. Canada more than the U.S. Canada had to go OT the last 2 games. Canada trailed in both the last 2. They trailed in every game, the last 3 games. Since we got to the knockout round, they've trailed every game and gone to OT every game. Assuming this gets overtime. I think we're there, right? And they don't do the ice, so there won't be much of an intermission here. So we're going to go right to hockey here pretty quick. And I hope this, listen, I hope this ends here because 3-on-3 is bad enough. I don't want to see a shootout. Does anybody want to see a shootout decide the Olympic hockey gold medal? Right? Only fitting. If we were still playing hockey, I'd be excited, more excited about this. Gotcha. Well, maybe snow shoveling is illegal in New York. I don't know. You can't make it up. I read it in a post last night, and I'm like, this can't be right. Oh. So I wouldn't go shovel. Oh. I don't know if this is breaking news or not, but the Secret Service killed a shotgun-wielding man at Trump's Mar-a-Lago after he broke through security perimeter. That's not good. I'm going to guess he was there. I'm sure that he was an innocent bystander. I'm sure there'll be a lot of outrage about this. How about this? So I'd be pissed if I was traveling this week with the Homeland Security partial shutdown. TSA pre-check and global entry has been shut down. I'd be happy having paid for that. God, am I glad I'm not traveling. I gotta tell my wife this one. We didn't talk about this either. Tragedy, Rick, on your side, and I think he played with the Cardinals as well. Rondell Moore, dead at 25, apparently by his own hand. We don't know what happened here or why this happened, but he was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound in his garage. Only 25 years old. Played at Purdue, was a standout there. First team All-American. And I believe, I don't know if he was a first round draft pick or not, but they're second round by the Cardinals. Played with the Vikings as well. I think the Texans was his last stop. Just a tragedy. And there's too many of these young guys doing this type of stuff, right? So, by the way, so the laws don't matter on that side, Jeremy. Just saying. You know, we only follow the laws we want to. So, I think Eddie Olczyk. Yeah, listen, I think, and again, I can't hear the whole thing. I could have taken my headset off probably so I could hear a little better. I don't know if you guys are picking that up in the background. I think Kenny Albert and Eddie Olczyk have done a pretty good job, by the way. I just so wish right now, especially right now, that I had Doc Emmerich in the booth right now. Eddie Olczyk, I think, has been exceptional with some of his breakdown here. Don't know what your guys thought are. You know, we talk about baseball and football announcers ad nauseum, but we don't talk much about hockey announcers. I think Eddie Olczyk's been very, very good. Also works at Kentucky Derby for NBC. Second round draft pick for the Cardinals. He injured his knee versus the Texans while playing for the Vikings. Yeah, we don't. I mean, again, I don't know if it's, there's times where I've made fun of people who were struggling with mental illness, and I don't think you get to this point in your life without having some sort of mental illness issues. And there's times I make light of it, right? The craziness of Kyrie Irving, thinking the world is flat and nonsense. But some of these guys struggle with it's a real struggle. And I don't mean, when I make light of it, I make light of everything. If you watch me, nothing's really out of bounds for me. But it doesn't mean I don't take some of these issues seriously. And mental illness is a real issue, and needs to be. These people need to get the help that they need, and it's sad when you see a 25-year-old kid just give up for whatever reason. We don't know why. We don't know if it's because his career circuited or what, but they get the crew right. They got the crew right for the Olympics. I think they did a pretty good job. Again, if I can't have Doc Emmerich, who's retired, I'll take Kenny Albert. Did a good job. Snow shoveling would be illegal in California. Probably don't need to worry about it. That's for sure. We don't get it except in the mountains, thank God. You do get, actually, up in the Sierra Nevadas and whatnot, you get a lot. I think Sierra Nevadas is right mountain range, right? I could be wrong. But they get quite a bit of snow up there. No, you're lucky, but we don't have, I'm not going to ever walk out. Most likely, I'm not going to walk out and see my backyard on fire, and the ground's not going to open up. So, probably, I would say, all in all, weather and natural disaster wise, we're probably in better shape here in the Northeast than much of the country. We don't, although we've seen an increase in dangerous tornadoes, not as big a deal as is in a lot of the country. Certainly hurricanes affected by, 3 or 4 over the last 2 decades, and not to the extent that people are on the coast in Florida and whatnot. Earthquakes, minimal. Ground's not opening up. No huge fires, although we'd had some last summer. So all in all, I'd say weather-wise and natural disaster-wise, this is a pretty safe part of the country. I was close to it 3 times in my life. One time I know that it had to be God that saved me. Well, you know what, Jeremy? We're very happy we're still here. And I know recently, learning some of the things that you've been through, I can understand how people get there. Some people get there. And I'm glad that you were able to be saved by, God or whomever. And I'm glad that you're still with us. I know it's a struggle, and I know sometimes I make light of it. I don't make light of young people or anybody, for that matter, when they get to the point where they feel they have no other options. I think the thing that I make fun of are people that are just have, whacked out ideas. I don't know if AC still is. I know that he told me one time that I don't know, it was AC? I don't know who it was. Somebody thought I was being too hard on Kyrie and his flat earther things. But again, I will reiterate that if anybody wants me to drive them, I'll supply the gas. We'll drive as far as you want. We're not going to drive off the earth. Midwest Eastern Seaboard is safer overall than most of us credit for. Yeah, I agree. We complain about the weather, but as I said, we're sitting here complaining about weather, wrecking our 4th of July parties while half of California is on fire. And whenever stuff's going on like that, I always, my thoughts go to Danny and other people and Matt, other people out in California that we know, and the people they know. We'll know the situation by Monday or Tuesday with more. Yeah. Let's face it, on 3-on-3 definitely favors Canada with all that open ice. That's fair. Overtime in Vancouver, Canadians beat the U.S. Interesting. Ryan Boucher. It's an exciting morning. I repeat myself, no hurricanes, alligators, or earthquakes. Fair. There have been known to be alligators are freshwater, right? Crocodiles are saltwater. There have been known to be alligators in the New York City sewer system. So people buy these little alligators and they think they're going to stay tiny, and then they start to grow and they like flush them down the toilet. True story. Yeah, this is new, right? They have not done this for any overtime previously. So we're going to stay on the air. I think we'll stay on the air long. If you guys want to go past 11, we will, because we may need that, or maybe we won't. But this is the first time in this Olympics that I can remember where they didn't just start overtime. They didn't treat the ice. But today they are. So very interesting stuff there. I don't know what the difference is. I guess it's just a gold medal game. There you see the shots on goal. First period was 8-8. Third period, they got it back to something more manageable, 14-10. And 19-8, just that second period was the Canadians dominated, and they're fortunate. Surviving that second period was huge for the U.S. Huge. Stay live. We'll stay on. We'll stay on. I got nowhere to go. Could take my wife out to eat later. I'll ask her. I'll ask her if she wants to go. We haven't gone out for a little. Well, we were just out last Saturday. What am I talking about? Well, usually we get out during the week one night. And we didn't this week. I don't know why. I think she wanted to stay in. Tuesday night, Tuesday night. I mean, I'm old now. It's 66 is time to start eating dinner at 3:30 in the afternoon. But I don't know. Maybe I'll take her out for lunch. See what her plan is for the day. The Olympics are about over. Not much into the NBA, so it's time to start thinking spring training. Well, you know, I agree, Danny. I'm not either, and I think because of the winter, we've had it. Again, by historical standards, not a horrible winter, but recent history, we've had a crappy winter. I think I'm looking forward to and watch some spring baseball a little bit yesterday afternoon. Maybe more so just because the weather's been so crappy here, below zero. And just it's good to hear the baseball talk, you know. Don't pay a whole lot of attention. Great to see Judge hit 2 home runs. It doesn't mean anything. Pete Alonso with a couple home runs in his Oriole debut. And I am interested in, you know, how guys are rehabbing, how Garrett Cole is rehabbing, Volpe, how new guys fit into a team. I'll be interested to see when Weathers gets out there a little bit. But even then, you know, what does it mean? Because, you know, if you're playing in B games and whatnot. Coldest winter in Michigan since 2010. I don't know about here in New York. I'd have to check it out. All that, you know, never mind. Listen, I had to get my car jumped for the first time in probably 35 years. When we got home from vacation, it was dead in a doornail in the airport parking lot. Inside a parking garage, but it's all open. I mean, still, when it's 15 below zero, it's, you know, 14 below in this parking garage. So it sat there for 2 weeks. And half that time it was like 10 below zero at night or worse. So I had a dead battery. Kevin McGonigal getting his first hit against Major League Baseball level pitcher. Okay, it's fair. Doesn't count. I just have a hard time, as Danny stated. I've always had a hard time. Not that I don't think spring training is important, but I will tell you this. Let me get off. Let me finish this. My thoughts are all over the place here. spring training is important. I just don't sit here and watch the games like I do in the regular season because I don't need to watch a bunch of guys late in the game who aren't going to be playing. Now, with that said, this year I'm excited because we get real baseball in just another little more than a week, 10 days, when the WBC starts. I am a huge WBC fan. I love international competition. I think the U.S. has taken I think they're taking probably their best team that they've taken to the WBC this year. Better pitching that they've had, I think they've had at any point in time in the history of this event. And I like Mark DeRosa running this team. He's got a really great coaching staff surrounding him as well. We should have a little wager this year, Jeremy. Matt's starting a new job tomorrow. Praying your aching knees hold up. What are you going to be doing, Matt, if you don't mind us asking while we kill some time between periods here? And I hope your knees hold up. I guess the other way to look at it is it only takes one goal, but Canada is going to outshoot us 4-1. Yeah. A lot of pressure on the goaltender. Again, what's sad here is they lose this game 2-1 in overtime. Somebody's going to be out there saying the Canadian goaltender played better than the American goaltender, which couldn't be further from the truth. What's he got? What'd I say? 38 saves through 60 minutes? Phenomenal. Against the best players in the world? Here to come back on the ice now. He's a second-year player, and I wanted to called up last year, playing third and left field with Pop in his bat. Didn't you guys get beat 20-3 the other day? Was that who did play the Orioles that game? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Certainly not saying it matters. You know, Danny, I love Danny's point about this penalty killing unit for the U.S. has been just amazing. 18 for 18 against this caliber of play? Shocking. Who's out here that hasn't commented? Reggie Lashley, say hi, buddy. Ginger. CJ DeSimone. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Who else is out here? Don't know Trippid. Matt, Patty Blylevin, how are you, Patty? Good to see you. The sports judge is out there somewhere. Chris F. Grave. Chris F. Grave isn't necessarily the sports judge. I guess I can't see the two more. Okay. Anybody's out there liking and loving the show, make sure you don't feel you can't chime in, man. There's no stupid comments. There's only stupid people. Just kidding. Just kidding. I respect everybody's right to say what they want, no matter how wrong they might be. As we get ready to start the overtime, Quinn Hughes, Cal Millar out of the equation because these guys on the ice could probably stay out there 2-3 minutes without any hesitation. I'm just reading. Why I'm reading the closed captioning, I have no idea. I feel like I'm reading the comments. Next goal wins. Here we go. I don't think this is going to go long. What do you think? I do not want to. Is it one? Do we go to a shootout after one overtime? Because if we do, that'd be a horrible way to determine the winner of this great game. This has been a classic. No, this is an instant classic. This game, win or lose. Oh, he's whiffed on it. He whiffed on a bit of a breakaway. Watch out here. Oh, what a save. Oh, my God. Wow. Oh, sorry, I missed a little bit. U.S. got better by Baez being suspended. Well, he wasn't playing for the U.S., was he? Kneecap because the Lions will win the Super Bowl, but hell freezes over. Sorry, I missed some of your comments here. I thought Baz was playing for Puerto Rico or something. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, I think we're a minute in, and this game it could have ended already. Sorry, guys, I think 5 minutes might be high. Here they come. Man, you got to hold your breath every time they're down here. Oh, he lost the puck. Here they come again. It is weird watching all this open ice. I think the Canadians have a great attacking plan in this 3-on-3. Jack Hughes. Oh. Jack Hughes. Good call, Danny. Woo. Okay. Great job. How about that? First time since 1980. How improbable is this victory when you look at the metrics, man? That power play, the 2 power plays being killed by the U.S., huge. The goalie play outstanding. 41 saves, I want to say, or maybe it's more now. How exciting was this? Unbelievable. Good stuff. The Hughes brothers, the Kachuk brothers have been just amazing this last 2 weeks. Oh, Jack Hughes had a winner against Sweden, if I remember. we had a few Canadian fans. Where are you anyway? Well, I need to know why you're rooting for Canada. I don't think you're Canadian. I know I've seen you on the Unprofessional Professional Short Show. Welcome here. Not sure if you've been with us and commented here on the Sunday Stream of Consciousness, but it's been a little different show today. Watching hockey and pretty much just watching a game with each other and having some fun. U.S. flipped the script. I agree. Good stuff. Blame Canada. 48-28. 41 saves. I mean, come on, man. You can't play better in a big game than this guy played. This team played well. Again, 18 for 18. Danny pointed out in penalty killing. Remarkable. It's remarkable to do that in an NHL game in a regular season. You're playing against the best in the world. How good was this? First time with NHL players winning the gold. Amazing. Jack Wagon. A lot of Jack Wagons. I know that's isn't that Yizer's trademark? He's American, but Sidney Crosby plays for Penguins. Oh, I see. Actually, a friend of mine, Bruce Hopkins, is a big Penguins fan too. He too was rooting for Canada. Lives up in Amsterdam, New York, or outside of Amsterdam, New York. What a great. Nice. How awesome was this? Guys, this has been a great morning. I've had so much fun doing this. I appreciate you guys sticking out the 2 hours with me with a little different format. Again, as Danny pointed out, less stuff to talk about than normal. But we had the game to keep us busy here this afternoon or this morning. And it was a lot of fun. Congratulations, USA. Congratulations to Canada, too. Tremendous game. You guys put all kinds of pressure on this team. And, and then they got Gooderow's jersey with him. He's been, Goodrow's parents are there. You gotta try to keep a dry eye watching this. Johnny Goodrow would have been part of this team for sure. Him and his brother killed in that awful car accident last year. His family there. I have a hard time keeping a dry eye in times like this, man. But he was there in spirit with these guys, and they kept him alive, his spirit alive, during this whole thing. So I didn't really stay overtime. We stayed under time. It's only 10:57. It made the game even more fun to watch and exciting. Well, you know what? I had fun. It's like sitting at a bar watching a game with my buddies, and this was fun. USA finally due for a win. Versus Canada. I agree. A lot of losses here. A lot of losses since 1980. I think 3 times they lost with NHL players, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I could be wrong. Could be 2. But still, just a great, great story. And this Johnny Goodrow thing is just sensational story. These guys keeping his spirit alive for this run and having that Olympic jersey and seeing his family in the stands means even more to these guys. We did. Oh God! I felt like we went over. I felt like this game's was going longer than what it was. What a tremendous! You know what? And I don't see any of these guys making comments they shouldn't be making either. So when they get invited to the White House, and the White House invite is coming for, I think, maybe the first time for an Olympic hockey team. I'd be shocked if we didn't see them all there. I'm glad you guys showed up. Danny, Jeremy, Dizzle, Kafizzle. Who else was with us during a lot of this? Rick, obviously. Rick Sherlock, maybe my first follower is Rick Sherlock. CA was with us for a good part of this. Earlier on, we had AC with us. We had Chris F. Grave with us. We had a lot of people watching during the course of this show with us. The live views are like over, Jesus, it's like 1,000. Let's see where we are. Oops, can't see that way. Yeah, between the two feeds. Good stuff, guys. I love the support you give me, and I love doing, something outside the box. This is a stream of consciousness. We can do anything we want on Sundays. You have a great day, dude, Jeremy. It's a great day to be an American. A lot of people will probably disagree with us, but I don't give a crap. Finally, the gold comes back to the USA. And the Rock voice. That's awesome. I normally say it's tough to watch team lose. I don't have any animosity towards the Canadians. I really don't. I think, again, they played very, very well. And this was just destiny. I think just destiny. Time, the Johnny Goodrow thing, man. I think emotion carried this team a long, long ways, man. And that's some of the greatest goaltending I have watched in a big-time hockey game in my life. How exciting was this? Guys, I'm going to wrap it up now. You guys have a great day. I had a blast. We'll catch you tomorrow morning. We'll be talking about a lot of this with Jack Hirsch tomorrow on the Weekend Playbook, Jack and Keith's Weekend Playbook. Check us out at 8 a.m. tomorrow. And we'll be back on Wednesday with the College Sports Huddle. Guys, Keith Engle for TGI Sports Talk, Sunday Stream of Consciousness. Have a great day, guys. Stay safe if you're in the middle of this blizzard. Bomb cyclone. Bye.